Motivation comes and goes, consistency doesn't, and that's why winners rely on discipline. Consistency beats motivation. Every time, here's why winners rely on discipline. Motivation feels powerful, but it's inconsistent. Real success comes from consistency and discipline, not temporary bursts of inspiration. In this video, you'll learn why motivation fades and how disciplined routines create long-term growth in business, fitness, and personal development. If you want reliable progress and unstoppable momentum, mastering consistency over motivation is essential. Motivation feels like a lightning strike. It is a brilliant flash of energy. It illuminates the path forward with sudden clarity. It makes you feel powerful, capable, and ready to conquer any challenge. When motivation arrives, you want to start immediately. You want to overhaul your life in a single weekend. You want to sprint toward your goals with everything you have. This feeling is exciting. It is a powerful catalyst for change. It is the reason so many new ventures begin with a burst of enthusiasm and effort. It feels like the most important ingredient for success. But motivation is a feeling, and like all feelings, it is temporary. It is a fair weather friend that visits when conditions are perfect. When you're well rested, when the sun is shining, when the task ahead seems novel and thrilling, but it often vanishes when the work becomes repetitive, when you encounter an obstacle, or when life simply gets in the way. Relying on motivation to achieve your goals is like trying to sail a ship using only the wind. On some days, you will fly across the water. On other days, you will be left stranded, waiting for a breeze that may never come. This is where consistency enters the picture. Consistency is not a lightning strike. It is a slow, steady burn. It is the quiet resolve to show up even when the initial excitement has worn off. One small step and then another and then another. It lacks the drama of motivation, but it possesses a far greater power, the power of accumulation. Consistency is the force that transforms small, seemingly insignificant actions into remarkable, life-altering results over time. True progress is not built on grand gestures, but on the foundation of daily practice. They appreciate the initial spark of motivation for what it is, a starting gun, but they do not depend on it to finish the race. They be systems. They cultivate discipline. They create routines that carry them forward on the days when motivation is nowhere to be found. They trust the process more than they trust their mood. They know the real edge is not in feeling good, but in showing up regardless of how they feel. Motivation is an emotional state. It is deeply connected to our neurochemistry, influenced by hormones like dopamine that create feelings of pleasure and anticipation. When you think about a new goal, losing weight, starting a business, learning an instrument, your brain releases these chemicals. This creates a powerful high. It makes the future look bright and the work feel effortless. This is the honeymoon phase of any new endeavor. You are fueled by the vision of the outcome, not by the reality of the process. This is why the first week of a new gym routine or a new diet feels so manageable and exciting. The problem is that our brains are designed to seek novelty. The initial surge is tied to the newness of the activity. As the task becomes familiar, the dopamine response diminishes. The work that once felt exciting now feels like work. The daily workout is no longer a thrilling adventure. It is simply the next thing on your to-do list. When this happens, the feeling of motivation disappears. If your strategy was built on that feeling, your progress halts with it. This is not a personal failure. It is a predictable biological response. Motivation is highly susceptible to external circumstances. A difficult day at work can drain your emotional energy, leaving none for your evening study session. An unexpected family issue can disrupt your routine and your resolve. Even small things like a poor night's sleep or a rainy day can be enough to extinguish the fragile flame of inspiration. When you tether your actions to your mood, you give control of your progress to 1,000 variables. You are hoping life will be easy enough for you to feel like doing the hard things. This is a losing strategy. People who rely solely on motivation get trapped in a cycle of starting and stopping. They begin with incredible intensity, making huge progress in a short time. But when motivation wanes, they stop completely. They wait for the feeling to return. When it does, they start again, repeating the pattern. This yo-yo effect is demoralizing. It creates the illusion of failure when the real failure was the strategy. Motivation was not designed for the long journey of mastery. It was designed to get you to take the first step. Imagine a large, unyielding stone. If you were to strike it once with a hammer, nothing would happen. If you struck it 10 times, you might see a faint scratch. It would be easy to conclude that your efforts are futile and give up. But what if you committed to tapping that stone in the exact same spot every single day? For weeks, nothing would appear to change. Then one day, a hairline crack would appear. With just a few more taps, the stone would split in two. This is the principle of compounding. Each individual action you take is like a single tap of the hammer. One workout does not make you fit. One page of a book does not make you wise. One healthy meal does not transform your body. The power lies in the relentless repetition of that action over time. Small gains, compounded day after day, lead to exponential growth. The results are often invisible for a long time, then suddenly undeniable. We're biased toward the dramatic, the overnight success, the lottery win, the viral moment. We overlook the slow, patient, often boring process that creates lasting success. Bestsellers are celebrated for the book, not the 1,000 quiet mornings. Stadium shows are praised, not the decade of daily practice. Focus on small daily actions, break down big ambitions into the smallest unit, lay one brick perfectly, do it every day, and you'll build a fortress. Goals are good for setting a direction. They tell you where you want to go, but systems are what actually get you there. A goal, I want to be in great physical shape. A system, I will do 20 push-ups every morning after I brush my teeth. Winners and losers often have the same goals. What separates them is not ambition, but the quality of their systems. Having a goal without a system is like wanting to visit a city without a map or vehicle. A system is a pre-decided plan that removes in the moment decision making. Every day hundreds of choices drain willpower. When you have a system, the questions are answered. You work out at 7, write 500 words before lunch, less friction, better choices. Habits are the building blocks of your system. A habit is a behavior repeated until automatic. When a behavior becomes a habit, you no longer need to consciously think about it. Think about brushing your teeth. It is simply part of your routine. Make success actions just as automatic. Automation frees your conscious mind for deeper work. High performers don't have more willpower. They design environments that make good choices, the easiest choices. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Build a system that makes progress inevitable even on your worst days. Our brains are fundamentally efficiency machines, constantly looking for ways to conserve energy. When you perform an action for the first time, your prefrontal cortex works hard, plan, analyze, decide, repeat the action over and over, and control shifts to the basal ganglia, your automatic pilot. That shift is called automaticity. Each repetition strengthens the pathway, like turning a dirt road into a superhighway. A professional pianist can play complex pieces automatically, even while holding a conversation. Cue, routine, reward. Over time, cue and reward intertwine, creating craving when the cue appears. Choose a cue, your morning alarm. Define a simple routine. Put on your running shoes. Deliver a satisfying reward, the feeling of accomplishment or a check mark. If motivation is a fleeting feeling, discipline is a deliberate choice. It is the decision to do what you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has left. Discipline is not punishment or being a robot. It is the mature acceptance that meaningful goals require things sometimes boring, difficult, inconvenient. It's subordinating immediate feelings to long-term values. Discipline powers your system when motivation is absent. While motivation asks, do I feel like it? Discipline asks, does this need to be done? This shift is transformative. Move control from emotion to commitment. Be master of your actions. This is a profound source of personal power and self-respect. Discipline is a muscle built slowly, strengthened with use. Go to the gym when you are tired, write when you are uninspired, make the call you are dreading. Each small act reinforces the identity of someone who follows through. A positive feedback loop. Discipline builds evidence, evidence builds confidence, confidence fuels discipline. Winners rely on discipline. The amateur works when inspired, the professional works every day. Building consistency isn't a massive overhaul, it's small strategic changes. Step 1, start so small you cannot say no. Ambition outpaces the ability to execute, then burn out. Meditate 1 minute, floss 1 tooth, write 1 sentence. The purpose is to become the person who shows up daily. Make it laughably small. Build the habit of showing up. Once ingrained, you can expand. First, master starting. Step 2, anchor your new habit to an existing one, habit stacking. After coffee, write 1 sentence. After taking off work shoes, change into gym clothes. Old habits cue new ones. No need to remember or decide. Motivation gets you to buy the membership in January. It fuels the first few weeks. Anna understands. Don't wait for a burst. Create a system. 10 minutes every morning right after her first cup of tea. For months, change is subtle. She sticks to the system. After 3 months, she feels stronger. She adds another 10. A year later, 30 minutes a day, built brick by brick. One big campaign spikes, then fades. Mark chooses discipline, 1 useful article every Friday morning. Few read at first. He sticks to schedule. An audience forms, trust grows, inbound leads arrive. The all or nothing mindset says, if not perfect, don't do it. If you planned an hour and have 20 minutes, you skip, miss 1 day, that's an accident. Never miss twice. On tough days, run 5 minutes instead of 30, write 100 instead of 1,000. Go on hard days. Maintain the habit. Cast a vote for your identity. Outcomes are often outside your control. Systems aren't. Control the meal you eat, the hour you focus, fall in love with showing up, measure success by adherence to your system. Did you show up today? That is a win. Motivation is a powerful starter, a bright flare that can illuminate your ambition. It can show you what is possible and give you the energy to leap, but it will not carry you to the finish line. The journey is long and not always thrilling. Motivation is a sprinter. Life is a marathon. For the long haul, you need a different fuel. You need the quiet, steady, reliable power of discipline. You need a system that functions when feelings fail. Success is not an event, it is a process, the sum of daily habits. Show up when it's easy and when it's hard. Lay 1 more brick, write 1 more page, do 1 more rep. High performers aren't born with more willpower. They trust consistency over inspiration. They build routines that automate good decisions and make progress the default. They choose the slow burn over the bright flash. Today, you can make that same choice. Stop waiting for the perfect mood or right moment. The perfect moment doesn't exist. There is only now. Choose 1 small, almost insignificant action. Make it so simple you cannot fail. Don't worry about the result. Show up today. Plan to show up again tomorrow. This is your first step on the quiet path of discipline. Comment below, do you rely more on motivation or discipline? Subscribe to Genius Achievers for mindset mastery, success psychology, and high performance habits. If you're building daily discipline, subscribe to Genius Achievers, comment consistent, and commit to showing up every day. Comment consistent if you're building daily discipline. And answer motivation or consistency. Which do you rely on? Like, subscribe and thank you for supporting the channel. It truly means a lot.